Hey guys, it's Mike Monty, one half of Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast. And we want to reach out to all the fans out there who have supported our show to say thank you. Thank you for making 2021 one of our best years. And one of our best years was because of Anchor. Anchor, the way that you can have your voice heard. You can be just like us. Record your own podcast. Use the Anchor tools to edit your podcast. Use it on a phone. Use it on your computer. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all with Anchor, they're totally free. So be just like Long Island's #1 pro wrestling broadcast, Monty and the Pharaoh. We're looking together for a great 2022. We've got huge guests coming on board. Oh, yeah. You probably wonder why Jimmy's not here right now. Well, he's prepping for one of the best interviews we're about to have, and we're going to surprise someone with. So hang aboard with us, and don't forget, be like us and use Anchor.
In my dreams, life the way it's supposed to be.
Dino Luzzi energy drink. Yeah, it's that good.
The Monty and the Pharaoh Show is brought to you by...
Because wine is your second favorite four-letter word. California wine, New York attitude. Good fucking wine.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the number 3rd episode of Todd Senofonte, Todd Senofonte presents Stunts and Film, Stunts and Acting, and Stunts and everything else. So today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk to you about some of the iconic projects that Todd has acted in and provided stunts and been stunt double and body double on, such as Universal Soldier: The Return, Sudden Impact, Double Team, The Quest. And Todd is going to share with you some of the memorabilia that he has from some of the films that he's worked on over the years. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Todd Todd Senofonte.
What is up? So yeah, a lot of movie producers and directors, they want you to have a great memory of the project you work on. So a lot of the crew members do come up with their own memorabilia, like T-shirts and jackets and hats and whatever. So I collected a lot of T-shirts, jackets throughout the years, and I just wanted to share with you some of those because for me it just brings back memory of where I started. Sudden Death, we filmed in Pittsburgh. And my first film, and like I said in the other podcast, when I stepped onto that set and I saw the cameras and lights, and it just felt right. It felt like that I belong here. So during the filming of Sudden Death was a long shoot, and we had a lot of night shoots. And I explained in the prior podcast that night shoots really mess up your eating habits, your workout habits. But like I said, you got to do whatever you do to survive. And it was kind of funny because the crew made up these T-shirts that portray those long nights of shooting. And I'll just show it to you now. The back of the shirt is really cool. You know, sudden death film crew. And again, it was so hectic and so long. It was filmed during the NHL strike. So what they did was on the front of the shirt, they put a hockey player, and they named it Slow Death, Pittsburgh '94, which was kind of cool. I do wear this a lot. You can see it's kind of, there's like a hole in the top of it. So I do wear this one a lot. And probably the most memorable item I have is a sudden death windbreaker jacket. I do wear this a lot. I usually wear this to movies that I'm working on now. And on the back, sudden death, Pittsburgh, PA. So I do wear this a lot. You know, Tennessee wear this on. We have, I do this, like I said, a lot. So that's probably my most memorable item I got. So after sudden death, we went to Thailand and we filmed The Quest. That was my first time overseas, and what a place to go, Thailand. Phuket, most beautiful beaches, crystal clear waters. It really puts your life into perspective, because when you're driving through these little villages and you see all the families, how they live, they have like a little tub, that's where they bathe, that's where they clean their food. It really makes you appreciate what you have. And I'm so glad I had the experience to travel all over the world working on these films. So the T-shirts that the crew made up, it's really, you know, a plain shirt, but you can see it says the Quest. And of course, I cut the sleeves off it. On the back, now this is from the lighting crew in Thailand, and you can also see that it's written in Thai, which is kind of cool. From the Quest, I do wear this not as often, but I do wear it. And then there's the rigging crew from the Quest. Each department usually has their own T-shirts made up. So this is the Quest rigging crew, 1995, and on the back it has all the names of the gaffers, which is kind of cool. Like I said, you know, brings back memories of all the guys. And this is what it takes to make a film. The crew is so important. The lighting, the gaffers, you know, down to the craft service, the hair and makeup. It takes a lot to make a movie, and you become like a big family, because you're with, you know, I was with the Thailand crew for, you know, almost 3 months. So you get that sense of, you know, closeness, family. And again, Thailand, we started in Phuket, and then we worked our way up north to Chiang Mai, Ayutthaya, Patong Beach, and then we ended up in Bangkok. Now, Bangkok is, if you're single, I recommend that you visit Bangkok at least once. The funny thing about when we were there, we had a translator, we had a guide, because there are certain parts in Thailand where you can go and then where you shouldn't go. So we had a tour guide that would bring us out at night, and we'd walk around the markets, and you know, they would say, okay, you know, you can go down this street, but don't go down that street. So we listened. You know, we don't want to cause any problems, but there are places that you want to shy away from. But other than that, the Thai people, we got to meet the long neck people. You know, they have the necks. You know, they said the like chains, not chains around their neck, but they're like loops that they stretch the women's necks out. That's what they do. And then they do the same thing with their wrists. They have rings around their wrists when they're young to extend it, also on their ankles. So it's just, it's an experience that, you know, again, when I look at these now, I think back of, you know, when I first arrived, I got off the plane and it was like a heat wave. It was so hot and humid. And then from the time I left, I would look back and just think, wow, okay, Thailand, maybe we'll see you again. I haven't been back, but you never know. Maybe I'll get back one of these days. So those were and then the one shirt that I like is, of course, I bleached it, not on purpose, but it's a red shirt with the Quest. You can see where I bleached it. It kind of gives a character. But I usually wear this, and I cut the sleeves off. But that's from the Quest, and the Quest was a great film. Got to work with Roger Moore. I was telling you the story of Roger Moore. We're having lunch one day, and all the crew was outside under a tent. And that film, actually, Roger Moore hurt his leg. So he was on a crutch for, I'm going to say, a couple weeks. But before he hurt his leg, we're all just eating lunch. And here's like somebody tapped me on the shoulder. I look back, and it's Roger Moore. And he goes, "Would you like some more water?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Roger Moore poured me water. I get memories every time I look at these. I think of Roger Moore, Jack McGee, Janet Gunn, James Remar, all these great actors where I had the pleasure of just sitting back and just watching. And we discussed that one time, the best acting class is being on a set, because you get everything at once. You get the feeling of it. You see the camera guys. You listen to their lingo. These days, I don't think young actors and actresses know what check the gate means. And just hearing that every day, check the gate, those who don't know what that is, when you actually do a scene, before you go further, the camera guy's got to get a little flashlight and look into the lens and make sure the lens is clean. So if you see like a little hair, it's okay, there's a hair on the lens, we got to go again. Otherwise, if everything is good, they'll say, gate is good, moving on. Again, little things like that to just bring back, memories of all the crew, all the cast, the locations. So after the Quest, so Maximum Risk, we filmed in Nice, France, New York, and Toronto. That was with Natasha Henstridge, great actress, beautiful actress, really nice girl, very professional. We got along good, we'd kid around, during takes. But before we ended, they came over, and I got one of these. It's like another like windbreaker zip up, from Columbia Pictures, and then on the back, Maximum Risk, Nice, France, Toronto, and New York are the locations. It's a windbreaker, once in a while, but again, it's in great shape. I don't really use this a lot because I want to preserve it. I should have it like put in like a case and frame it. But that's from Maximum Risk, Columbia Pictures. Great memories. And then after that, I have Hong Kong, so Knockoff. And this is unique because this is kind of like a mistake. This is supposed to be the front, where it says Knockoff. And the back, this is what it's supposed to say on the back. So I got that on the front and that on the back, which is kind of cool. It makes it, probably worth a lot more. Hong Kong. Same old Hong.
Right before that, actually, you did Maximum Risk and then Double Team.
Yeah, Double Team. We have a little gym bag from Double Team. Mm-hmm. It's actually in my storage, but before it was Double Team, it was called the Colony. And the gym bag I have is called the Colony, which is kind of cool because that's the original name. And then they changed it to Double Team. And like I said, Double Team was the infamous tiger scene, which I still, look behind me, make sure there's no tigers coming after me. That was the most adrenaline ever, having a beautiful beast like that chasing you, because they don't know any better. They had, they did have the Wranglers on there, and I said the tiger did get loose once, and all you hear is over the walkie-talkie, everybody in the wagons, tiger's loose, everybody in the wagons. Everybody's jumping looking out the window, where's the tiger, where's the tiger?
Well, that was actually the first film, to my knowledge, of Dennis Rodman. So, like, when you
Dennis Rodman, he was
ego from being an athlete into film, or was he pretty easy to work with?
He was as cool can be. He was, when I introduced myself, hey, Dennis, how you doing? Todd, Young Close Double. He was more interested, like, how I got started. So I just, we sat around, we talked a little bit, and then I remember telling him, I said, hey, Dennis, I said, if we get a basketball, in a hoop, I can show you how to throw some free throws. He kind of laughed and chuckled. But he was very professional, always on time. And then, of course, Mickey Rourke, legend. He had his moments, like, every big star does. But when the cameras are off, very personable, professional, just a really kind-hearted guy, and is a great actor. I loved him in 9.5 Weeks. I mean, we talked about his movies. We just talked about everything. We talked about, working out. So he was very, very down to earth. And then, when the cameras are on, you got to get focused and, you do your thing. And he's probably one of the best actors I've worked with to date. So yeah, Double Team, France and Rome. Mm-hmm. We filmed, and again, let me go back. Maximum Risk, I was telling you, that's how I got my SAG card. Mm-hmm. I did my first stunt, and I was a must join. And another shout out to Charlie Pacerni, stunt coordinator, because without him, these days, to get your SAG card is very difficult. So I was, again, it's all about the timing and the right place, the right time. I mean, that's going to become my motto, the right place at the right time. So then after the Double Team knockoff, we did Legionnaire in Morocco, and I did have a jacket, and it was really nice. It was similar to the Sudden Death. It was a white jacket with the black writing on it, and I do have to find that because, again, it's stuff that means a lot to you. You want to preserve and keep. But that was a crazy shoot too. That was my first experience in a sandstorm. One day we're in Sahara Desert. You look straight ahead, crystal clear blue skies, and then you turn around, the darkest cloud ever. Again, you hear on the micro or the walkie-talkies. Okay, everybody in the trailer. Get in the trailer, close the door, and then you feel the trailer shake and the sand and everything like that. Maybe about 10, 15 seconds. You open the door, crystal clear. That was a hot shoot too. In the Sahara Desert, there's really no shade when you're away from your honey wagons. Actually, on the set, you're just in the sand. You got to find shade, which was scarce over there. But Morocco was another interesting place. You get a day off, and then you just stroll, through the village. You see all these people, handmade, little bracelets and rugs. It's just amazing how talented they are and how they make a living, similar to Thailand. What other one I have? Okay, so this one here is from Until Death. We filmed in Bulgaria. Bulgaria was another Sofia. We were in Sofia, Bulgaria. Beautiful, beautiful country, beautiful scenery. Just thinking about it now, it's, brings back so many memories. And what they did for this T-shirt, they actually took a picture of the storyboard. Storyboard is like, you have pictures of what you want to shoot that day and what's going to happen. And they actually took a picture of the one storyboard, Lorenz's house inside. It's one scene that, again, it took so long. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong for this scene. So that's why they put that one on the shirt. And again, when we first started, it was called Till Death, Sofia, 2006. And then they changed it to Until Death. So another All these memories, Tim. It's I like it. So then after Until Death, Universal Soldier Return, we didn't really have any shirts made up because I was brought on towards the end. It's funny because when I moved to California in '99, I was staying with a friend of mine, and he let me borrow his car. So I went over to the local mall, and I walked into this. Remember the Sharper Image stores where they have like the massage chairs, all these different gadgets. So I'm sitting in the mall in the Sharper Image on the massage chair. I'm getting a massage, and this girl runs into her mom and dad and says, "Hey, Jean-Claude Van Damme is here. He's in the middle of the mall." I'm like, really? So I get up from the massage chair, feeling really good, relaxed. I go on, and I see him. I see Jean-Claude. It was Gladys and his kids, Christopher and Bianca. And I walked over. I said, "Hey, Jean-Claude." He goes, "Hey, Todd." He goes, "I'm going to need you to come with me to Dallas to fix to finish Universal Soldier Return. I'll send all the information to you." I'm like, "Oh, cool." Because I just moved in like 2 weeks. I see him. It was, again, timing. If I didn't get that massage at the mall, I probably wouldn't have saw him there and got to go to Dallas with him. So I went to Dallas for a week to finish up the end scene with Michael Jai White. I know a lot of people don't like Michael Jai White, but again, when the camera's off, these actors and actresses, they're just like normal. They're like us. And I'll never forget the scene in Universal Soldier Return. He has that one incredible sidekick. It's like just picture perfect, the form and everything. I have nothing but good things to say about him. So when we're doing the last fight scene, we're sitting in between takes because they're setting up. Now here's the technology back in '99. There's a scene where Michael Jai White kicks the gun out of our hands, and it's got to flip up in the air, and then we catch it. So the coordinator had a 2x4 and a little fishnet or a fishing line tied to the gun, and it had like dangling in the air like that. I mean, just thinking about it, from then to now, technology. But we cracked up, and I remember I turned to Mike and I said, "Mike, we could have did that," and we just started laughing. It was great. Goldberg. I was talking about meeting Goldberg. He's like a big teddy bear, really nice guy. He's very smart too. And I told him, I said, "Hey, Bill," I said, "I don't want you to get upset with me, but Sting is my favorite wrestler." He goes, "Steve is a great guy." He goes, "I'll tell him." I said, Cool. And it wasn't too long ago, I'm going to say maybe 3 or 4 months, I got a message from him because I sent a picture. There's a picture we took in the makeup trailer where he's choking me. And I sent that picture to him, and his response was, "Wow, brother, long time ago." So we kind of like, it's like hit and miss with him. I know he's really busy. But yeah, let's keep in touch. So it'd be cool to hear from him again. And then besides the Jean-Claude films, I did a film called Kung Fu-y, the spoof on Van Damme and Bruce Lee. My character's name was Jean Fraud Croissant. When I heard that name, I was dying. So they when we finished that film, they made us a Kung Fu-y. And on the back, it's got the little guy with the peach, the ancient peach. If you didn't see the movie, then I won't ruin it for you, but that's the ancient peach. It's called Kung Fu-y Quest for the Ancient Peach. And we filmed this one up in San Francisco. Fisherman's Wharf I recommend you checking that out. We did the Alcatraz tour, like in the boat. You go all around, you put the headphones on, and they just give you a history of Alcatraz. And then the last thing I have from the Jean. Oh, here I forgot. Yeah, the last thing I have is from Jean-Claude Van Johnson, the TV series. On this one, I was actually his driver and his trainer on the set. There wasn't a lot of action on this, but he wanted me to be a part of it, so which was kind of cool. And it's a great series. It didn't get picked up. It's on Amazon Prime, I believe. And he plays all these different characters, funny characters, serious characters. It showed his range of not just, kicking and punching, because he's got a great sense of humor. So Jean-Claude Van Johnson, the shirt, and it says season one crew, I survived scene 422. 422 was another long day. It's kind of cool that some film crews put this on there, because it makes you think back on that scene. It was another long scene that everything was going wrong. Everything was going wrong, from the lighting, the camera. It was a long shoot, but it was a great TV series. And also they gave us, this is like a Letterman's jacket. It says season 1, and on the back, Jean-Claude Van Johnson. It's got a hood. You can take the hood off too, but I think the hood looks kind of cool on it. Another one that's in, this is 2017. I wear this sometimes, when it gets cold, but not too often in California. So those are kind of, and last but not least, I was telling you, I forgot, Pound of Flesh we did in China. Aki was in it. John Ralston, a lot of these great actors. Just hearing their stories, and just hearing everybody, like, just again from the gaffers to the best boys to all the lighting guys. It's just cool to hear them, because they've worked on films that I loved, and it's just great to hear what they think about certain actors. How was it working with a director? It's just great stories that you keep with you, and So for Pound of Flesh, if you didn't see it, we wear these. These are the actual glasses we wear. These are from all the scenes that you see Jean-Claude in, and these are and they're really light. You can wear them inside and outside. And I do wear glasses inside a lot, because I had that LASIK surgery, and that's why I wear these a lot, because I can wear these indoors and outdoors, because the glare sometimes affects my eyes. But these are actual glasses from Pound of Flesh. We filmed in China, so a lot of great memories with the memorabilia.
And I actually asked about Powers Booth, because he's one of my favorite character actors. So any memories or stories of Powers Booth working with him on the set of Sudden Death?
Powers Booth was he was, because he's playing like a terrorist, so he was so focused in that character. I really didn't. I would go over and say hi to him, but I wouldn't chit chat with him. But again, professional, on time, and again, you sit back and you watch and you learn. I mean, that's how I learned. Being on the set, watching the actors. When I first started watching, the stunt guys, and talking to the stunt coordinators. Oh, how do you do that? Oh, is that how you did that? Just soaking up all that knowledge. For me to move forward.
So all the films you've done stunts on, stunt doubling, acting, what do you prefer now and where you are in your career? Do you prefer acting or stunts? What's your first preference?
Right now, I like being in front of the camera, but I'm not going to turn down any job for doing stunts, because stunts is it's like a big adrenaline rush. And if you think too much, you're going to get hurt. You just got to go forward, give it 100%. But if, like I said, if you came to me right now and said, Todd, I got this big martial arts film, and then I got this action, dramatic, romantic comedy script. Right now where I am, I would choose the latter. If I had a choice, of course I would go whatever, project was presented to me. But if I had a choice, that's what I think, because, all the martial art films, everything's been done, but acting, it just gives you, that range, to do the action. But then, to deliver a monologue, show the funny side, the romantic side. That's what I would do right now. So that's where I am.
So out of all the projects you've done, do you feel like you've had an opportunity thus far to really showcase your acting skills? Or do you think that opportunity is not yet presented itself to you?
Well, I think every actor, feels that, they want to do better. I feel right now, The Rideshare Killer was my biggest role to date, and it's a great film. So that's where I think I can always get better, because you don't want to stay in neutral. You want to move forward. I mean, it was a great role, but when I finish it, you always think, I could have done that better. But what can you do? It's finished, and you move on.
So what are the things you liked about that film? Because you actually had the opportunity to do stunts and acting on that film, and you played the killer. And I will say this, and a lot of people may not know, but throughout horror movie history, a lot of times the production company will hire the actor to play the killer, and then they'll hire somebody else to do the stunts for the killer in the movie. But you actually played the killer and did all your own stunts. So how was that experience doing that?
Well, this part was, for me, it was more dialogue than that. The only action in it was at the very end when when I block the sword. So that was pretty much, and then I get when I grab the girl, and then I get hit in the stomach and the foot and then the groin, and I fall on the ground. But I did that a few times, but it wasn't as strenuous at all. I was more focused on delivering my lines, staying in character, and working with Tuesday Night. We had such a great chemistry on that film. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to work with Eric, but I did, a few months ago on a film. But Eric is, for me, okay. Everybody knows who Eric Roberts is. For him to work as much as he does, he doesn't need to be, the star of the show. For me, it's just, that's passion. He can work on a movie for half a day and just, give a line. He's got like over 680 credits or something like that. That's dedication right there. A lot of respect for him, and hopefully, in the near future, we'll get to do, something together. More on screen time with him. You never know.
1000%. So, I mean, I know obviously Jean-Claude Van Damme was a huge influence to you to get into the business because you followed his career. But are there any actors that you would consider to be influential to you as far as your acting career?
I'm a big fan of Michael Caine. I think Michael Caine is one of the greatest actors. I actually have his book I got back in 1994, Acting in Film. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I still read it. When I go to a movie set, I actually have it with me in my bag. Just a little details that can make you a better actor. Like, just for one instance, he has a chapter in the book about blinking. And he says, everybody sees the eyes. The eyes tell everything. They tell the whole story. And he says, when you're delivering a line, especially for a close-up, you don't want to keep blinking. It kind of shows weakness. And I practice it. Delivering lines without blinking is a difference, and then facing your to open your face on a close-up, you line up your eye to the camera, left, just little things like that I've picked up in that book. And then as far as character actors, I love Ed Harris, Kevin Pollak, these guys are true troopers, because they don't get a lot of the accolades they deserve. It's usually just a star of the show, but sometimes these character actors can outshine the star of the show, or actresses, so it's Michael Caine is up there. I'm a big fan of Tom Cruise too. He's the epitome of an action star, because again, he does a lot of his stuff, and it just shows you how much he cares about the film, because he wants them to make so much his fans to really see him. And there are certain things that with insurance you can't do, which is understandable. A lot of these actors and actresses do have doubles, for insurance purposes. But it would be cool to, just do a film and just do everything. But that probably won't happen, because again, if the star of the show gets hurt, or the co-star of the show gets hurt, then they got to shut down, and who knows when they'll start back up.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's a part of being bondable and having a completion bond on your film. You have to have insurance and make sure everybody is safe on the set and off the set. One project we didn't really discuss is Pub Salone. So I know you did utility stunts on that film, and I do believe Eric Roberts was in that film. Any thoughts on that film?
Pub Salone, I was brought on by my stunt coordinator friend, David Shark Freilich, and he goes, look, all it is just a slip and fall. So the camera is, from the waist down, and all we're doing is walking in the kitchen, and then I slip and I fall back. So that's, pretty much called a utility stunt, where, you don't see any, you don't see the actor, you really don't see any part of the main actor, but just from the waist down. And I didn't get a chance to see Eric on that, because it was just really like one day's work. But again, it's you go on these sets and you make connections, and that's what it's all about. You build that trust in those coordinators or the producers, and that's pretty much the name of the game. It's not what it's who but it's nice to have some talent to back up if you need for something else.
And it's always best to stay ready, that way you don't have to get ready. So when the opportunity calls, you're there and you meet that opportunity. I think that's a lot of people don't understand how important it is to recognize opportunity when it presents itself. You have anything to say about that?
I think your exact words, 100%. I mean, you have to be ready, especially in this business, because you never know. Mm-hmm. Let me give you a quick example. For Pound of Flesh, they started the production a month prior to when I got the call. And I got the call, and I said, look, Jean-Claude, need you on Pound of Flesh. Are you available? And I'm thinking, yeah, a couple of weeks. I said, well, when do you need me? And they're like, now. So I remember I had to drive down to LA to get the visas and all the paperwork done. In a matter of 3 days, I'm on a flight to China. So yeah, I mean, you just never know, always be ready, like they say. Right
on. And actually on that cue, my man, is the end of episode number 3. Todd Senofonte, TODD, presents Stunts in Film, Stunts in Acting, and Stunts in Everything Else. You have any words you want to close out with? TODD out, train hard, think positive, and have fun. Back with episode number 4 momentarily.